All right.
Hey,
Welcome to After
everybody.
the Talk, Mental Health and the First Ladies Edition. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. We just had our Mental Health and the First Ladies Edition, part one.
Part one.
They showed out. What you think, Natasha? They showed out. They
I
brought it
love it. That
home.
realness, that pure, that genuine motherly love. So I'm loving it. It was just great. So I had fun. It was so good to hear different voices from different, I want to say generations. It was excellent for me. Just kind of hearing, and I think it gave a lot of folks some good nuggets, especially for the pandemic.
So if you're tuning in now, again, I'm your host, Vicki Yelverton, and with me tonight.
I'm Natasha Lewis. Praise God.
So what we were just talking about is how well tonight went with our mental health and First Ladies Edition, part one. We're going to go on and name it part one because I think they're going to have to come back. I think they still have some stuff they need to get off their chest that they didn't really get a chance to get into. What you think?
I definitely say so, being that I asked them in front of all of America was they gonna come back. So that definitely would warrant a part two. So I wanna, I'm excited to see what our after the talk folks gonna say. Can we call one of them now?
We'll call one of them right now. Let's get them.
All right.
Let's see here.
Hello.
Hello, Lady Basket.
Yes.
Hi, this is Vicki and Natasha from Gravity Talks. How are you?
Doing well. How's everybody?
We're doing good, sis. Praise God.
So
Good.
So thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's a late one, but we finally got a chance to start our After the Talk. And so thank you for being one of our featured guests to share their thoughts on how they thought tonight's show went. So have at it. What are your thoughts, Lady Basket? How do you think it went tonight?
I thought that it went very well. I love the diversity, I guess you would say, in the season. That was really good, to see that and to hear the differences in where everyone is. And I thought the ladies were very transparent in their sharing. I thought it was just really good. It was just so many things that they talked about, and I thought was really good. Talking about the self-care and how important it is, and I think that we really don't do a lot of that. Even the little things, lighting the candle, and just stealing away and just taking a bubble bath to take care of ourselves. They just hit on a lot of things, and I think this is very well needed. Just talking about the coping mechanism during this time and bringing balance. Because for some, I was thinking about it, if I may just share this, as they were sharing it. I think it depends on just looking at your panel, the size of your church. You have someone that may have a mega church, you have someone that has a small church. And I know for myself, just coping with, I'm an intercessor, and just constantly praying and being supportive to the ministry and for my husband and for the church, because we're dealing with the finances just so we can keep the doors of the church open.
Right.
And mentally, that could be draining.
Right. That's true.
You know, where you have someone that they have to make a church, and you know, they don't really have to concern. Well, I'm not gonna say they don't have to concern themselves with that, because truthfully, we do believe it's all in how you teach people, because you could have a million of them, and if all of them don't give, you're still not gonna make it. Churches are supposed to do that. But I just thought it was a very good panel. There was a lot of things that was brought out, and they covered a lot of things. I think you guys are doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
When you talk about mental health in the church, and even when it comes down, there were a lot of things I thought, man, I wish they would have dived just a little deeper into, but it was good.
So what would be something you would like them to dive into? Because we're going to have a part 2. We felt like they needed to get some more stuff off their chest.
I think a lot of the good was talked about, you know, as far as being a pastor's wife. And I think you did mention, okay, let's say that, that's the part 2, because, you know, it's not always, the glamour.
Right.
You know, and being a pastor's wife. And we all know that we live in a glass house. You know, my children, we used to always talk about that. You know, oh, we live in a glass house, and the expectations. And how do you sit when you know that things was a little shaky the morning of or the night before?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to go and you got to sit in church. Or even how do you even sit in church? It doesn't necessarily have to be your husband, but it could be someone, I think, like Lady Chapman talked about, where they try to shipwreck your home. And then you got to go up and sit up in church with those people and smile and love on them in spite of.
Wow.
So you got to know how to separate that.
Yes. Yes. And still be protective of yours, you know?
And still be protective of yours. Yes. And so, and when you're talking about that in the mental, you know, all of that is stressful. And so somebody mentioned this earlier. I was trying to take names, so I wouldn't have to say that. But if you're not careful and don't take care of yourself, that can bring things upon your physical health.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a snowball effect.
That stress that's right.
You're exactly right. And I think that's where we turned the corner. I think tonight was able to lay the foundation. I think they still were transparent and sharing their story, but I think if we dive in a little deeper, especially upon the part 2, we can kind of go, there's kind of like the next level of conversation. You know what I'm saying? Let's peel this mask back. Let's peel this onion back, and let's really dive into what it's really like, and what is it like when the trying times hit. You know, so.
And you know, I understand from being in that position, Michelle, but then that, you know, my husband's in that position, and I don't want to put too much out there, but, you know, Lady Calvin talked about, sometimes we just got to learn to say it's okay.
Right.
It's okay to be tired. It's okay to say I need help. It's okay to say that was me. You know, that's what growth and maturity is. And it's okay to be transparent.
That's right.
Because you might be helping somebody out there.
Come on now. And I know they helped a lot of people out there. A lot of people have, you know, commented and brought in, you know, text messages saying, thank you so much for tonight. You know, this really blessed me. And those that are going to continue to watch the video, because I think the time is now for people to be transparent about their truth, about what's going on, because it will be a blessing to others. Sometimes it ain't about just ourselves, it's about other people. So, well, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. And again,
thank you, because people don't realize how many pastors have walked away and have quit, how many first ladies have walked away, have quit, have tried to commit suicide. I think y'all need to peel back the onion and dig deeper. It will help a lot of people.
Awesome. Taking notes. Thank you so much, Lady Basket.
Well, thank y'all. All right.
All right. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Wow. That was deep. That
Yes.
was what we thought. In the next level of conversation.
We're going deeper.
Yes. So let's see. Let's call our next guest and see what's going on. Let's see here.
I'm excited for the next. That was some good information from Lady Basket. I mean, that was great.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Maybe she's not familiar with my number. Let me try again.
Okay.
Your call has been forwarded.
Okay. Well, I have a feeling she's not familiar with my number, but we had another first lady that was going to join us and share her thoughts on tonight's segment. Natasha's going to reach out to her and see can we get her on the line. But again, I think as we go to the next level in conversation, all the first ladies agreed that they would love to come back. But again, I think it was about being able to share your story, share your truth. And some of the things that they said was interesting. And you see how we do these gravity talks by design, meaning we try and have topics that build on each other, that relate to each other. And if you notice, when we have mental health and divorce part one, a lot of the ladies are in the ministry and they shared a lot of things that caused the ending to their marriage. And so fast forward to tonight with the first lady sharing of things that they have to make sure that they take care of so that they don't, that they can protect their marriage. And I think Lady Chapman made a great point. The church could destroy a marriage. And so I think that there were some common denominators there between mental health and divorce part one, part two, mental health and marriage, and mental health and first ladies. I think everyone was talking about the relationship piece of it and how you have to make sure you take time to be able to nurture the relationship first, and then the rest will fall into place. So, all right, you want me to try again?
Yeah, go ahead and try again.
All right. Let's see here.
But yeah, the nurturing part, I loved it because they always said the preacher's kids are the worst kids. I'm like, well, why? Why does that happen? And, everybody has their theories and philosophies about it.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, Lady Terry.
Yes.
How are you? This is Vicki and Natasha from Gravity Talks.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well.
How you doing, sis?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's a late one, but we wanted to get your thoughts on tonight's segment.
Oh, tonight's segment was absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
The speakers did an absolutely phenomenal job. I absolutely loved each one of their take on the topics. The diversity of the speakers were amazing, from the Lady Horton, with her being in ministry their ministry being 7 years old, to Lady Chapman, to Pastor Ozzie. It was just absolutely phenomenal. Their take on their different aspects of ministry as first ladies. And the thing that really stuck out to me the most, because so much stuck out and I couldn't recap everything, but one part that really stuck out to me was the question you posed of what it was like when they first began as first lady, and the various views. I think Lady Horton, when she said that she was quiet, and she really, she didn't been asked her to come out and sing on the praise team. She was like, you really want me to do this? You really want me to go out and sing? And she was willing to do it, anything to help push her husband in ministry. And I think as a first lady, that's one of the key and most important rules and rules of thumb. You got to be willing to do whatever to help push the ministry. And she was willing to do that. And then, even though she felt like being in the back was where she was fine and she was comfortable, and they were fresh out of freshly being married. She had just had a child, but she was willing to do that portion and to step out and to help him. And even now, she said she's kind of gotten used to it and she's got the swing of things. And then there was Lady Chapman. Her testimony was phenomenal when she said that she was kind of like behind the scenes, just kind of quiet. But when her husband wanted her to open, and I think that one of you all were joking and saying, "What do you mean, like open the door?" And she went and was talking about how she was such a people's pleaser, and she just wanted everybody to be happy. And that's so true for first ladies, because sometimes in the church, being the pastor's wife, that's one of the biggest traps that we can fall into, because we want everybody to like us. And if we feel that someone doesn't like us, that's one of the biggest traps and one of the biggest failures that we fall into, is that,
Right.
What did I do wrong?
Right.
What is it that I'm not doing right? It's got to be something that I did wrong, or something that I'm not doing right. I'm missing a mark somewhere. And we begin to measure ourselves up and feel that we're failing somewhere. We're letting the church down. We're letting our husband down, because somebody in the church may not like us, because we want everybody to like us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily the case. There are going to be some people that like you. Some people may not like you. They may like the pastor, but they may not like the first lady.
Mm-hmm.
And as time goes on, those are things that you learn. Those are things that you have to accept, that they may prefer the pastor over the first lady. It doesn't mean that it's right, but that's just how things are. And as she began to talk and say how she got over it, and she learned to please God and get over the fact and let people get over it, and they grew out of it, and some of them pleased themselves by actually leaving the church. I found that very powerful and kind of dynamic. And then we got to Pastor Ozzie, and she was saying how she began as an evangelist, and she kind of already had it mastered as an evangelist, and being able to reach people, and the art of being able to go to meet people where they are,
Mm-hmm.
by being an evangelist and talking to them right where they are in their need. And if they were on the street, and not being afraid to reach them where they are. So when she became a pastor's wife, and she began to pastor alongside her husband, that part was easier for her.
Mm-hmm.
So people were drawn to her personality, so it wasn't hard. And so those three different personalities, those three different types of first ladies, I think was a very, very diverse pool. And it was so good that you all gave that diverse example tonight, because so many churches are starting with those types of diversities, because we have, not all churches are the same. We don't have a set model or a set mold of first ladies. And I think that was so awesome, and it was so perfect that anyone that goes back and watches the replay, they're going to be definitely blessed by it. And truly, we need the part two, because I do believe that those women have more to say and more to bless us with, to give more enlightenment.
Yes. Wow, Lady Terry. Thank you so much for an awesome recap.
So what's something that you would like?
You and Lady Basket held it down. Y'all took some great notes.
Yeah. What's something that you'd like to see happen on the next part two?
Well, on the next part two, I would like to see them get more transparent, because I think one of the things as a first lady that we need to share with those that are just starting, or even those whose husbands may be thinking about becoming pastors, is to deal with the real, the mental health side and the real issues. Because it's not glitz and glam and the nice suits and the armor bearer from behind you holding your bag.
Come on now.
I think we should really deal with the what it feels like to feel ostracized and feel like you're alone. Because sometimes as a first lady, you can be in a church, a mega church, or a church of 20, because sometimes you may not have the big church. You may have the smaller church, and that's fine. But sometimes you can feel alone, and everybody can be around your husband and be catering to your husband, who's the pastor, and you can feel like you've got a scarlet letter on your face, and you can feel ostracized.
Wow.
And I think we need to really deal with the issue of that the first lady can feel alone and feel by herself and feel like she has nobody, and the fact that she may not have any friends and feels like that she can't have friends because she is the first lady.
That is so powerful. And I think you're right. I think that when we open up for part two, I think there's a fear of, can people get close to you that are members of the church?
Right.
Can you have friends in the church? Because we don't know, some folks have hidden agendas. And I think that it's hard for first ladies to balance that. and really
Right.
know if people are being genuine or not. And so, because they're still human, everybody's human, and you don't want someone to get to know you personally and use things against you once they get into your personal circle. So
Mhm.
I think that'd be a great topic of discussion when we host
yeah.
part 2. And
Yep.
the weight of, I think that there can be a lot of shade in the church. We're going to speak, openly. I think there can be a lot of shade in the church, and you're right. They may have a reverence for the pastor, but not show that same level of respect for the first lady. And,
Absolutely.
That's a tough, like you said, that scarlet letter on the face, that's deep right there, because sometimes that happens. And what do you do then? And when we talk about mental wellness and the mental balance of it all, it's important that you still rise above that, and that you're comfortable enough and strong enough to be able to do that.
Right.
Without feeling like, you got to fight for everything. You just need to be able to hold steady in your position, in your role as the pastor or the bishop, whoever's wife, and as you being the first lady of the church. And people need to respect the position. They may not like the person, but they need to respect the position.
Absolutely.
So, wow, this is a deal. Well, thank you.
Listen, girl, you got me going. I'm ready to do part 2 now.
I'm ready to do part 2 right now. Lord have mercy.
I'm ready for it right now. Like, wait, I got more questions. But Pastor Fanta, thank you so much. This was awesome. I love the feedback, and we're gonna definitely reach out to you for part 2 and see what you can do to help us out.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. And thank you again for joining us tonight. I know it was a late one, but we appreciate you giving us your feedback.
It was my pleasure. Thank you again.
All right. God bless and stay well.
Good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
Wow. Boom. Wow.
Deep. I'm ready to do a part 2. Oh, Lord, we definitely got to do that before the end of the year.
Yeah, we got to do part 2. Maybe part 3, because I mean, those were 2 different stories we just heard on the after talk, and that was good. I mean, that was the juice. Was it the juice, the tea, or the soda? What is it?
The tea.
That was the tea, and it was mixed with lemonade. Because I mean, that was
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, that. And I mean, they just gave us like that. Oh Lord, now I'm excited already. I'm ready. I'm gonna start planning this thing out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, well, all the part 2s we getting ready to have by the end of this year are gonna be lit. Mainly because we done scratched the surface. We done got to first and second, halfway to second base. But now we're gonna be in third and fourth. Bring it on home. Oh, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on. I'm ready. I'm ready to dive right in. We ain't gonna be tiptoeing around those stuff. We already covered all that. Now we got to go in deeper.
But listen,
what they want.
That's it. Well, listen, guys, we thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Listen, next Monday night, guess what? 7 p.m. We got National Recording Knowledge Global Worship Leaders. They coming in. I don't know what they gonna do. I don't know if they gonna sing. I just don't know. But I do know if they do sing, Vicki Yelverton, y'all. Vicki Yelverton has said she's singing too. So it's gonna be a blast. I can't wait. I can't wait. But that's right, y'all. Mental health and praise and worship. And you know why we're doing praise and worship? Because it's been a challenge. Some of them are going back into church with the pastor while the pastor is preaching, but some of them have been at home the whole pandemic on the little squares on the Zoom, doing the Zoom worship. And some of them haven't been doing that. And I don't know about you, but I love music. And without it, oh my God.
It's tough.
And that when that's your ministry and that's what you've been doing, it's that pandemic hits different for someone like that. So we're going to definitely talk to them, what's going on with the mental health and what they're doing now. So guys, if you love music, tell everybody, tell your mama, tell your cousin, tell your friend, tell your brother. Next week, Monday night, 7:00. We thank y'all so much. We appreciate you all.
Thank you.
And have an awesome, awesome night. And don't forget to like and share. God bless.
Yeah, God bless. Take care. Stay well.